All right. Let's see if this works here. Nice. What's going on? What's going on? Period 2 and 4. We're gonna do some problems here. We are gonna go through this little study packet. Give you guys some examples on how to do these. We got some examples already done, but number 2, I'm sure we did in class. I'm going to do it again. We got to do the prime factorization here. I don't have any jokes for you guys. I don't have anything fun and whimsical today. I'm so sorry. But I'll tell you a scary thing. We got a test next. We got a test on Monday. So, giving you guys a little bit of help on this, if you do choose to study over the weekend, we got to break, we're looking at the radical of 144 u to the power 3v. We got to break this down. This 144 is going to go into 12 and 12. This 12 can go into 2 and 6. 2 is a prime number, so I circle it. 6 is going to go into 2 and 3. Same thing with this 12. We can go into 6 and 2. And this is going to go into 3 and 2. So 144 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Or 2 to the power 4, 3 to the power 2. Anyway, if we rewrite this 144u to the power 3v, we can write this as 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, u, 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 v, and we're looking for groups of 2. If there's no number here, automatically it's a square root or to the second radical. Looking for groups of 2. So we have 1, 2, 2 2s, 1 3, and 1 u that comes on the outside. And what's left over on the inside is a u and a v. So the final answer is going to look like this. 2 times 2 times 3 is 12 u radical uv. There we go. That's for number 2. Let's take a look at number 7 maybe. That might be a nice, helpful one. Let's see. Let's get some of the schmuck off of here. All right. Looking at radical 80. So we want to break this 80. We want to find the prime factorization of 80. It's going to go into 8 and 10. 8's going to break into 2 and 4. 2 is a prime number. I can circle it. 4 is going to go into 2 and 2. 10 is going to go into 2 and 5. So this is going to be 2, 2, 2, 2, 5. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 equals 80. If you don't believe me, check it out on the calculator. I will bet a significant amount of money that that is correct. And we're looking for groups of 2. So we got 2 groups of 2. We got 1 group of C. So what comes on the outside is 2 times 2 times C. And what's left over on the inside, what we have on the inside is a 5, an A, a B, and a C. So 5 A, B, C. And so the final answer is going to be 4C radical 5 A, B, C. There we go. We've done number 8 in class. I'll leave that to you guys. Let's take a look at number 11. Number 11 is a nice one to look at. We've got 384, the sixth radical of that. So we got to break down the 384. Use a calculator. You can get 2 and 192. 192 you can break down into 2 and 96, it seems. And you can break this 96 into, yeah, let's just do 2 and 48. We can break the 48 into 6 and 8. 2 and 3. Don't forget about these 2s. 2 and 4. 2 and 2. You can make this a little bit smaller so it fits in this nice section here. But what we end up seeing is we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2s. 7 2s and 1, 3. So I'm going to be looking at this. I've got a group of 6. So it's going to give me the 2. And I still need the 6th radical of what's left over, which is 2 and 3, 6. So that's the final answer. 2, 6th radical, 6. These 2 are coming in to make this 6. I'll do now let's take a look at 16. It's not too bad. By the way, you guys can see that. Anyway, we're going to 16. We need to take the 3rd radical of the 3rd root of 16, 4. Let's break down the 16. We get 4 and 4. We can break the 4s down into 2 and 2. This is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So if we're looking at this, we got this 3rd radical. Let's make sure we have the 3rd radical here. And this is going to be the only group of 3 that we have. So it's going to be 2, 3rd radical, and what's left over is 2x. That's the stuff that's we don't have a group of. I'll write it here, 2x. And that's the final answer. It's going to be 2, 3rd root of 2x. Maybe if I zoom in, that'll help you guys. Zoom in just a little bit more here. There we go. All right. Let's take a look at 18. I'll use my pencil here. This one's tough. Negative, oh no, we did this one in class. We did this one in both classes. Let's see if we have another one that's kind of tough. Let's do 19 then. And I'm not caring too much about the absolute values. Don't worry about the absolute values in this. No, let's do 1,000 actually. Let's do 1,000. I think 1,000 will be good. Let's do 20 together. This is a 3. In case it's cut off for you, we got 1,000 breaking up into 10 and 100. It's going to break into 10 and 10. And each of these 10s we're going to break into 2 and 5. So what we end up getting is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5 times 5. 2, 2, 2, 5, 5, 5. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 A's and a B. And we're looking for groups of 3. So a lot of this stuff's going to come out. We got a group of 2s, a group of 3s, a group of A's, another group of A's, and that B is going to be left in there. So in this, we get the B that's still chilling in there. Everything else comes out. We get 2 times 5 times A times A. The final answer is going to be 2 times 5 is 10. Oh, all right. I don't know if you guys are able to see all of that. Probably zoomed in too much, honestly. 10a to the power 2 and square cube root. Don't forget the cube here. Cube root of b. There we go. Looking at, whoa, it's like kind of got messed up here. Oh, what is this? All right, let's take a look at this. We've got 5b and no, I don't need these parentheses. We've got 5b here, which is in the parenthesis. And we're going to look at this bottom number here. This bottom number is going to go over here. And this top number is going to go on the outside here. And that's it. That's the answer. That's how you rewrite it. That's what we need to do to rewrite it. The bottom number is going to go over here. And by the way, if there is no number, we automatically assume that it's a 2. So that's probably the more correct answer. Both of these work. And let's take a look at 25. 7r to the power of 1/2. Very similar. We're just going to write the 7r and make our radical sign. The number that goes here is the 2. 2 to the power, and this is going to be the exponent to the power 1, but anything to the power 1 is the same. So if I really just wrote this correctly, simplified, this is what it would look like. That's it. Anyway, that's it for that. Let's take a look at some more difficult ones. Let's take a look at this 31 maybe. Might be a good one. Or actually, 31's a good one. I think I've done 31 for you guys. Did I? Let me check if we have 31 finished for you guys. Yeah, we do. I'll do 31 here. Let's take a look. We got 31 over here. That is going to be 100k to the power 4. And we're going to write the radical. And the number, the type of radical is the second root. And that's similar. And that's basically it, and to the power 1. Which means we don't even need this power 1. The power 1 doesn't change anything. So we're just going to break the 100 down. We know that the square root of 100 is 10. We can write this as 10 times 10 times k times k times k times k. Do the radical. And we got a group of 10s, 2 groups of k's. We get 10k times k, nothing left inside. It's just going to be 10k to the power 2. There you go. Guess we could do 32 again to give you the kind of concept that we were working with. We do b to the power 9, and it's going to be 4 over 3. So we're going to do this, radical, b to the power 9. And the number that's going to be the radical is the 3, because it's on bottom. And the exponent is going to be 4. So let's take a look at what does b to the power 9 and the radical 3? Well, we have b, 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 b. We got 9 b's. We're taking the third radical, so that's going to be one group of 3's, two groups of 3's, three groups of b's. So it's going to be b to the power 3. This equals b to the power 3. So we have this third radical b to the power 9 is b to the power 3, but then it's also to the power 4. So we're going to have something that looks like this: b to the power 3 times b to the power 3 times b to the power 3 times b to the power 3. This is 3b's, 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 3b's. That's going to give me b to the power 12. All right, we're going to come back over here. We've got radicals now. Let's take a look at this. This one is probably the most difficult part. Let's take a look at 2 radical 12. Let's take a look at 36. I want to break this into, I guess, like the most, you don't need to break it down like this, but this is probably the most useful way to do it, is break it down into as many parts. If I break the 12, I get 2 and 6, 2 and 3. If I do the same for the 75, what I end up doing is I get 325, 5 and 5. So I'm going to rewrite things. I get 2. This radical 12 is radical 2, radical 2, radical 3. I have on this radical 75, I get radical 3, radical 5, radical 5. This is the 75 here. This is the 2, and this is the 12. So I know that I can cancel radical 3 and radical 3 on top and bottom. So if I'm kind of doing this one more time, I can do this. 2 radical 2 times radical 2 is radical 4 over radical 5 times radical 5 is radical 25. I know that radical 2 is 2, so it's going to be 2 times 2 over radical 25 is 5. The final answer is going to be 4 over 5. And that's it for number 36. Maybe we do 37. Not too bad. This is the number one rule. The number one rule is you cannot have a radical in the denominator. You cannot have a radical in the bottom. We're always just trying to get rid of the radical. So let's take a look at this. This is going to give us radical 4 is 2. 3 radical 10, we have 3 times. What's radical 10? I know it's a perfect square, so I know it's 3 times 10. It's 10 times 10, so I know that radical 10 is going to be 10. And this is going to give me 2 over 30, which I can then reduce to 1 over 15. Let's take a look at 39 maybe. 39 isn't nice. Radical 6 I can write as radical 2, radical 3. Radical 2. And I can cancel out the 2's, so I end up just getting radical 3 over 1, which is radical 3. Let's take a look at 38. That's probably the only difficult one that's left. So let's take a look at how can I break down the 32. Well, I know it's going to go into, let's separate this out so you guys don't get super confused in here. I can break the 32 into 4 and 8, 2 and 2, 2 and 4, 2 and 2. So I'm going to rewrite this radical 32 like this. We got 3, radical 2, radical 3. This is going to be, this part here is the 6. And over here, this radical 32 is going to be radical 2, radical 2, radical 2, radical 2, radical 2. That's the 32 part. I can cancel one of these 2's. And what I end up getting when I combine all these back is I get 3, radical 3 over radical 2, radical 2, radical 2 times radical 2 is radical 16. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16, which is going to give me, let's write it over here. 3 radical 3 over radical 16 is 4. There we go. And that is a little bit of help for you guys, a little bit of review. I hope that helps you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. Hope you're prepared for the test. It shouldn't be too difficult. And that's all we're doing. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.